Good morning all you lovely people. Now I was on YouTube yesterday when a video came up, a suggested video, and I thought, that's unusual because it had exactly the same title as one of my videos. In fact, it had exactly the same title as my most popular video. And I thought, oh, that's interesting, I'll have a look at that. So I went to have a look at it, and basically it was my video. It was what looked like an AI generated replica of my video. Now I know all about AI generated content and videos because I've got them on my own editing software, and it looks like it's been fed in and then it comes out with the same story, but it's in its own words, and the images that go along with it are AI generated images because I've got like a beta copy on my editing software, and you can pay for it, but it gives you about 3 or 4 freebies before you do, and I've actually used one of them on a video, but I've only used it once just to see how it was, and it was exactly the same thing. So I went over to this and I was looking at it and I watched it, and it was plagiarism. It was absolute plagiarism. But what they've done to avoid YouTube copyright, I think, because I am going to follow this up with YouTube, but I don't think it can be taken down. I don't really want it to be taken down. Perhaps I should see it as flattery. And it's the spend less, be happy video that I did about 3 months ago. It was about 3 months ago I made it, and this video came out about a month ago. Now I'll leave links to both these videos, to their video and my own video, in the description, but it's obviously my video because I talk about buying a narrowboat, they talk about buying a narrowboat, I talk about the length of the narrowboat and the width. They use exactly the same dimensions that I used. I talk about Atlas having the weight of his shoulders taken off, they quote that. I quote how many coffee machines I found in a kitchen, they said exactly the same thing. I talked about capitalism and relating it to making a loaf of bread, and they did exactly the same thing. I talked about going on Amazon and browsing when you don't really need anything, they did exactly the same thing. It was exactly the same video. And I messaged a friend last night, I said, just watch this, am I being a bit mental here? Am I seeing something that isn't there? And she messaged back saying, that's plagiarism, that's obviously copied, but it isn't plagiarism. Now the thing that annoys me, really, I'm not being churlish here, but there is no work put into these. This channel has been going for 5 months and it's got just under 400 videos. In fact, by today it's probably got more than 400 by now, and it's from Vietnam, and it's obviously a little bot farm type of thing, and there's a lot of work goes into producing videos. Even mine that isn't that complicated, but I have to think about what I'm going to talk about that's going to be of interest to people. I usually make notes, I do riff, I usually talk off the top of my head when I get out here, but I know basic salient points that I'm going to bring into it. Then I go home, then I edit it, which can take, you know, I mean, I can come out here, especially if I'm riffing, because a lot of it's just me talking waffle off the top of my head. So I can have like an hour of video and produce an 8 to 10 minute video out of that, and then I produce the thumbnail. It's a long process, even for me that's doing it just as a hobby. And this also, obviously this channel's monetized, so you can probably join, you can make a lot of money out of YouTube. I don't, because I don't, you can have monetization, Patreon, buy me a coffee. There's a million ways you can make money, and a lot of people come into it specifically to make money, and we'll talk about that in a minute. And this is what this has done. They're churning these out 10, 20 a week at least. And there are content creators out there creating absolutely fantastic stuff. You know, there's some fantastic entertainment, there's some really well crafted. I mean, I go on about the girls who do the slow life videos, but they're beautiful, they're works of art, they're well crafted, they must take ages to produce. And whether you think, well, this isn't what slow life is about as far as I'm concerned, they're still massively entertaining to watch, and well done them. But these people seem to be just producing, like I say, they're feeding people's videos. Now, that's one of mine. There's 400 videos up. There could well be plenty more of mine on there. I would have to go through, I would have to trawl through. And everyone's got the same kind of thumbnail. It's this AI generated face. It's just a format. They're just churning them in and churning them out just to make money. And it's annoying because Mark Knopfler of Dire Straits has got a channel. There's a channel dedicated to Bob Ross, the artist, the American artist. And I remember watching Bob Ross programmes with a kid and being absolutely enthralled by this man. I still go and watch the Bob Ross ones. There's a lot of people now, the most popular videos now are these reaction videos where people just sit in front of a television, watch, say, a comedy programme or a music video, and then comment on it. You can churn millions of them out a day, and they're the most popular, and there are people making a lot of money. A lot of them are absolute garbage, but within that, there are some classics. There's an American lad called JJLA Reacts, I think, and he's great. He's a lovely lad, but he like Googles everything that comes on. If you're like, oh, I'll Google that, and it's like, but it's so entertaining to watch, and everybody loves him just because he's out of the norm, because he's obviously very bright and very inquisitive, and it's just the way he talks, this beautiful soft voice he's got. So there are hundreds of different formats and different kinds of video out on YouTube, but the thing about them all, the common denominator, is there's a certain amount of effort goes into them. Some not as much as others, but there is obviously no effort gone into this, and I think it just dilutes the whole process. It kind of belittles the whole process. It infantilises the whole process, that somebody's coming along, stealing other people's videos that they've put a lot of work into, and then just feeding them into some AI program and coming out with, and it's with an AI generated voice over an AI picture with somebody else's story. And I just think I don't think there's anything you can do about it, because it's gone changed just enough to take it out of the realm of copyright fraud. So you can't put any kind of hit on them. And should I feel flattered? I mean, I am in a way. But one thing, I've been doing podcasts and I've been doing YouTube for about 17 years now. And one cardinal rule that you always do is, if you use someone else's resources, somebody else's stuff, even somebody else's inspiration and somebody else's story, you credit it. You credit the source. You always do. It's just what you do. On my editing software, if I use music, there's a choice of music I can use. And that's great, because I don't have to credit. I can't credit it. There's no way you can credit it. But I have used free sites where you can get free music, and on those there's a little download. You can download the original creator's link, and you can credit them in your description. And I do that. You don't need to. It wouldn't affect your copyright because it's all copyright free. But you do it because it's the thing to do. And not only are these people not doing this, but in the description of this video, it actually says all storylines and research is our own, and underneath that is a threat of legal action for copyright. It's a bot. It's a Vietnamese bot, and I don't think it should be on YouTube. Am I overreacting? Tell me what you think. Links in the description, links to mine, and then links to the other one. Now, there's probably about half an hour's viewing in total, but if anybody feels like just looking at them, just tell me what you think. Am I overreacting? Is this all right to do? It is probably all right to do. A lot of my life, a lot of my thoughts are all around ethics and what's the right thing to do. You don't do something just because you can, do you? I did it because I can do it. No, sometimes it's not morally right to do it, and I don't think it's morally right to do this. These people are making a lot of money, and they are making a lot of money, believe me, just churning out videos to make money, no talent at all, no scruples, and I don't like it, and I think they're arseholes. Anyway, so this was just one I did. I wasn't going to do one. I've got one coming out in a couple of days if you want to do it. I think it's something to do with how to reach your own Shangri-La. So there you go, that's coming out. And in the meantime, we shall carry on our little walk in the countryside through the dry leaves of autumn. We shall see you on the flip. Peace and love.